Swell. I'll be wavy. I'll be gravy. Are you good? Hope you're great. I make music. I'm making a song a day. Challenge really goes to drop a song a day until the end of the year. I drop songs every Friday. My pack was supposed to come out today, but for some reason the stores were not accepting it fast enough. They finally did, but the album hasn't popped up on the stores yet. So I'll post it when it's out, but I've got one that came out the past Friday, so I'll put a link to that instead, and then I'll post on my community tab when the new one is out. But go to my YouTube Shorts tab if you wanna get clips. YouTube Shorts tab if you wanna get clips of all the music I've made thus far. And I'd really appreciate if you listen to that, and then appreciate if you click the link in my description to hear everything I've made. To hear the pack, and then you can browse them other music as well. I was watching a Ryan Garcia interview, and he's talking about the sport of boxing, and it just got me thinking about rap. Because rap in many ways is a sport in and of itself. There's some rap artists who don't subscribe to that review. But I think a lot of us do. I think it's a very competitive genre of music. Competitive in a way that other genres aren't. Okay, you can definitely tell in the rap beefs. You had the Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef that popped off recently. I actually need to listen to Megan's diss. I heard Nicki Minaj's diss and I thought it was good. The beat was great. The way she was exposing her was crazy. As a young Christian man, I do wonder how far is too far, And I think context matters, because look, the outsiders won't get it, right? It can seem very vicious and crazy from the outside looking in, but when you're in the culture and you know what the rules of engagement are, you know how this goes. You understand that it's a clash. And in the world of combat sports, something they always do that I've heard them talk about this, these fighters, like in boxing and UFC, whatever it may be. Oh. Something they always do is, if there isn't enough animosity that already exists between the two of them, they'll make up things in their head, like, why did he look at me that way? What is his tone? Why is he speaking to me like that? Anything that can make them hate the other person, a lot of them will lean into that, because it gives them more fire. It stokes the flame, and then gives them that extra aggression that they can take with them into the fight. And it builds the fight. It makes it more entertaining. Some people argue that that's not necessary, that you should just rely on your inner power, yada, yada, yada. It's like, that's not how... that's a naive view of things. I think, especially as men, we're very aggressive, and we look for that. And there's just something innately combative within us. And when you're going to war with someone, you want a reason. You want something to really focus on, to direct your anger towards. So I think rap is the same thing, man. When you listen to my raps, it's like, you'll notice, especially with the freestyles. I release a lot of these freestyles, very aggressive, but that's just that spirit of competition, right? And it does contrast another aspect of my nature, which is I'm not a very confrontational person. I don't seek out trouble, you know? I don't like conflict. So there's a part of me that wants to test my skills against someone else's skills, but there's also a part of me that just wants to mind my business, make love songs, and just keep it at that. Just stay out of the way. But so you know, sometimes those two sides are kind of at war with each other. But I think ultimately I do have a desire to engage with the sport and understand that as long as things are contained within the sport, everything's fine. I do think lines get crossed. Sometimes people go too far, they make things too personal, and that's when context is everything, man. So it's like if someone else gets personal, I'm like, listen, you took it there, so let's go all the way. When we see that, but again, it depends. It depends, because you don't wanna sink to someone's level. So context is everything. But I don't even know what these things are. Oh my god. Oh no. Hold on. But I do want to one day test myself. Like, who wants to like exchange? Who wants to go back and forth with some music? Let's see who comes out on top. Let's see who the people say did a better job. You know, the beauty of doing this song a day challenge is, I'm always ready. If you take time off, you know, you do get, it's like working out a muscle. You do lose momentum, you do get a bit stiff. It can be harder to execute your plans and execute your movements and so on and so forth. Like, you won't be as effective. The beauty of doing the song a day challenge is constantly writing, constantly developing my skill set, getting better at my enunciation, getting better at my speed and my breath control. So I feel ready. I think I can take on some pretty formidable opponents. Just allowing yourself to go through that. I think the rap community respects that, and they respect the rappers who are willing to put themselves through that. And when you talk about the greatest rappers, I think they've all had contests in their careers. Like, they've all been challenged to some extent, and they've all been like through like legendary feuds. Your Jay-Z's, your Eminems. Lil Wayne, who did Lil Wayne beef with? I'm trying to think. I mean, the people have taken digs at him, but has he? I'm probably very ignorant on this. It had to be like earlier days, like early 2000s, maybe like a bit of the 2010s, but not the past decade. I don't think he's gone into any significant feuds with him. I know Pusha T took digs at him, and that's what started that whole Drake feud between him and Drake. But I don't think he's ever, like, in the past 10 years at least, like that. I can't think of any moment where he made like a full-blown diss track towards someone. I can't remember. Let me know in the comments if you're a rap fan and you have specific knowledge on that. You know, Drake had Meek Mill, Pusha T, Common, Kanye. Drake's been through it. Everyone's come from it. Everyone, he's gone back and forth with Jay-Z. I'd argue he's kind of been tested more than anyone in that regard. I don't think Kendrick has had any significant. He's gone back and forth with Big Sean, and he dealt with Big Sean handily. I think everyone can agree that he came out the better man on that one. J. Cole hasn't had any feuds. I think, yeah, Kendrick only had Big Sean. And then J. Cole, who the hell did J. Cole beef with? That's actually crazy. I get the concept of like staying out of the way and not involving yourself in nonsense. But I think people want to see how you'd stack up against this person or that person. It's complicated because it does make it hard to be friends with certain people and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, man, I'm not in this to make friends with people. I don't care about if you like me, don't like me. I'm talking about within the space of hip hop and these characters. Like, I'm here to make music that people like and to do my best and climb as far up the ladder as I can. So I wish J. Cole would have engaged more with some of these guys. The issue is that these days there's just not many worthy opponents, you know? Not in the mainstream, at least. You'd have to go for like these not underground, but more low-key rappers. That's where all the talent is. No one in the mainstream is worth a second of attention. Who you beef with? Playboy Cardi? Oh my god, please. Lil Uzi Vert I've heard him rap. Like, he has talent, but I just don't think he'd be that much of a challenge, to be honest. Travis Scott is not equipped in that realm. I can see them making like some truth, like I can see Travis, I guess, making some catchy song and with a few good bars in there, but I don't think he's got the artillery to just keep going. And you know what I'm proud of? I know that if I got into some feud with someone, some rap feud, I could just drop 3 songs in a day, easily. If I have the fuel and it's like, you're pissing me off, I think I could, yeah, I'll just, obviously it's not wise to put out 3, you don't want to inundate the public. But if it's a back and forth situation and you're like, I put out something and then you respond, something's coming out in the next hour. Like, I have to make the beat, then I have to write the lyrics and record and mix master. So maybe in the next 2 hours, just to be safe. Don't overestimate myself. But I think I'd be very horrible to go up against because I wouldn't give you breathing. A lot of these guys, they need a day, they need 2 days, they need 3 days, they need a week to respond. So it's like, I feel like, I don't think it'd be fun to go up against me. I think it'd be very tiring and it'd be very stressful, and you just be like, oh my god, what do I, like, you work very hard to put out this diss song and then he responds already, like it's been an hour, it's been 2 hours, how is he already put something out? The only issue is streaming platforms take so long to accept songs, so you'd have to release it on like a YouTube and then wait for it to come out on these other platforms. Yeah, you'd have to upload on YouTube and then upload and then it comes out on Spotify, Apple Music, so on and so forth, like maybe a week later or something, because these stores take forever to accept music. Yeah, I think that'd be a nightmare, dude. I'm very proud of that. But there are definitely some rappers I look at, I'm like, that would be that'd be a tough nut to crack, like a JID. At my current level, I don't know how I'd fare against the JID if I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what? I have skills. I take it easy with some of these songs, but I listen to some of my older songs that I released last year. I'm like, I hear glimpses of, I hear certain verses. I'm like, wow. Like, yeah, I know I have the tools in my arsenal that where I could take things to a whole new level with some of these guys, and I could go in directions that maybe like some people who are ignorant of my capabilities wouldn't expect. Because it's like when you're releasing like 300 plus songs in a year, most people aren't gonna listen to all of them, right? So they just won't know. Wait, he can do that? He can rap that way? I think sometimes it's funny. It's funny because it's an interesting experience. You make the music, but then you listen as a fan, like you listen as an outsider, as if you aren't you. That's what I do. I listen as if I'm not me, as if I'm not the guy that made the music, and I'll listen and be, what? Like, when did I make that? But how? Like, you just listen like, wow. It's crazy that I did that. I didn't know I could do that. It's funny because it's like, how did I not know that? So I know I have those tools in my arsenal. So I don't think there's anyone that I'm like scared to go up against. I think fear is great because it keeps you out of trouble. If you're not scared, you're more likely to throw yourself into stupid situations that you can't win. I think fear is great, but if I'm being honest, I don't think there's anyone like any rapper that I look at, I'm scared that I won't come out on top of that. There's some I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna end. Like I have doubts, sure. But fear is a different thing. Fear is like it keeps you from engaging. It's like, oh no, stay away from him. I'm like, I could poke that bear. I'm not sure how it's gonna end, but I could poke that bear. Which again is not always the wisest thing. But hey man, sometimes it's good to test yourself in those ways. What the hell is that? My bad. Is that a booger? Damn, that's crazy. But yeah. I just think there's some rappers that most rappers just don't want to go anywhere near. I think Eminem is one of those rappers. Yeah, some idiots that try him anyway, and it never ends well. I just think Eminem is not someone you want beef with. He's too good. Again, I don't really fear anyone in this space. I think I really do think I could pull some tricks out of my bag that people might not expect. I can't rap as fast, and here's the thing about rapping fast. It's a trick. It's a mirage. It's an optical illusion. It makes you seem better than you actually are. I'm not saying Eminem's not amazing. I'm just saying it's very easy to impress people when you're rapping quickly, because that in of itself is a skill. It's very hard to rap that quickly and say the words clearly and stay on time, stay on beat. So that is a skill. It's a very impressive skill. But then a lot of the time it becomes a crutch, and you don't always have to be saying that much. You don't have to be making sense. You can be talking about nothing, dude. Your lyrics can be absolute trash, and because you're rapping quickly and you're performing a very impressive skill, people will be like, whoa, 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 because that in and of itself is amazing. But what are you actually saying? And I think the ones that are most are the smooth talkers, the ones that are most subtle, a bit slower, but the lyrics hit harder. They have those quotable lines. Because that's what people are going to remember when all is said and done. So I think that's what I would have to bring to the table. I think Eminem's very lethal in that regard. Like he's kind of the best of both worlds. But I think I could pull some tricks out of my bag that might surprise people. Would I win at my current stage now? Who's to say? You never know until you engage, man. I just think you shouldn't be afraid to engage. You shouldn't be afraid to lose. I think the fear of losing is what holds people back, because there's this Floyd Mayweather syndrome people have, kind of complex they have, where it's like, I have to win all the time. You know, Floyd never lost a fight. So then people think that that's the norm, and it's like every other boxer in history had multiple losses. Muhammad Ali, how many fights did he lose? He lost a lot. Mike Tyson lost a lot. Every great fighter lost. Everyone. Actually, a big criticism of Floyd is that the reason why his record is so pristine is because he avoided the big fights. That's a criticism some people have of him. Obviously, he's had incredible fights with incredible fighters, but they're saying if you'd taken the hard fights all the time, your record wouldn't be what it was. That's a criticism some people have. Who's to say? I don't know. These are just hypotheticals. But I think what we see a lot of the time is if you take the hardest challenges consistently, you don't duck fights, and you don't say, let me fight this other person instead, your day will come where you might get checked on the chin and things don't go your way. These days, it's like the expectation to maintain this crystal clear record. It holds people back because you don't give people the fights they want to see. You give them these boring fights with these unknown names in the fighting sport and so on and so forth. You cherry pick your opponents. Now go in the arena with the best of them and see how you fare. I think that's the mentality everyone should have. You know, Israel Adesanya in UFC, he fought everyone. He didn't turn down fights. He didn't take that much time off. He didn't stay out of the ring for too long. And he got caught by Sean Strickland. It happens, man. It happens. Alex Pereira took him out, but then he avenged himself against Alex Pereira, and then Sean Strickland got him. And then Sean Strickland got caught by Dricus du Plessis and a fellow South African. And Dricus will have his day as well. The only guy in the UFC who hasn't been defeated is John Jones. John Jones has one loss, but the only reason he lost that fight, he beat the guy so badly with his elbow that eventually he started hitting him with an illegal elbow and he was disqualified from the fight. But he was murdering that man. The ref had to step in and say, you're not allowed to hit him that way, and then he got disqualified. So he hasn't lost a fight in his career. So John Jones is an anomaly. But he also only fights like once a year or something. Like, he doesn't fight that often. At least very recently. Like, he's been injured, so it's for good reason, I guess. But would he have this perfect record if he was fighting every 3 months? Who's to say? Who's to say? I think everyone's vulnerable. If you put yourself out there, you're gonna get caught at some point. So for me, it's about the challenge. Don't be afraid to lose. Humble yourself. Understand that, hey man, whatever happens, happens. I'm just here to test my mettle. I do it for the sport, for the fun of it, for the excitement, for the thrill. So I don't want to be out here looking for problems, but I am looking forward to testing my skill against another good rapper one day who is willing to engage in a way that's healthy for the sport, for us. Obviously, it's not about being friends, it's not about liking each other, it's just about staying within the boundaries of what's acceptable. Anyway, rap is an interesting genre. Let me pray and get out of here. You know I like to pray. Dear God, thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making them whole and unique and guiding them out about the world's peace, prosperity, and purpose. Peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this individual with wonderful people who love them and take care of them and bring the absolute best out of them. And that you're maintaining the people that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with gratitude, a spirit of gratitude, so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace and contentment and attract even more wonderful blessings in their life. Thank you that your presence is felt in this individual's life, that you're letting yourself be known. Let them know that you love them and you're taking care of them and that you're there for them, Lord. Good health, long life, and happiness over this